that. I'm just over it. I'm just over making myself up. I don't know, I turned 30 and I was like, nah. Okay. This is part 2 of a 4-part series. In the last part, I showed my design process for a group of like sporty, athletic knit styles. And then this group, which I'll be showing in this video, is suit sets that feel youthful and playful. So I feel like whenever you think of a suit set, it's always like yawn, very square and basic. And I wanted to have some fun with like using different prints, using like some fun fabrics, mixing up the design details, and just kind of like exploring, having fun with that. So that's the concept for this mini collection. And then I guess I'll just start talking about the pieces. For this design, I knew I wanted to work with a plaid fabric. I think like a plaid suit set is just a cool concept to begin with, but I wanted to incorporate some details that were unexpected. And if you know me by now, you know that I love smocking, so I incorporated smocking into the design of the jacket. I've never seen like a blazer with smocked sleeves before, and I thought that would be a cool way to like incorporate a little bit of a puff sleeve. And I love like doing a tight smocked cuff with like a little ruffle. It just felt like kind of whimsical and like a playful way to do an otherwise serious blazer. And I took that smocking detail and I did a pair of smocked shorts. The key with these shorts was not to have it be too short. One, because the blazer itself was like a little bit on the longer side, and I didn't want to look like she was naked underneath there, so I wanted the shorts to like hit just below the blazer, but I didn't want them to be so long that they looked frumpy. So that was like a thing. I had to make sure I got the right length. Another reason I like smocking is because it's a way to add stretch and ease into a garment so that it can fit a larger range of body types, and it's just more comfortable. Like smocking in a suit is just a good way to make it feel less like restrictive because it has like stretch and give. So yeah. Originally this design had smocking at the back waist, and because of this I had to really think over the lining detail. If it was a full lining, full woven lining, that might interfere with the function of having like the stretch at the back waist. So instead I asked for like a half lining that overlaps at the back. That way when she moves it can separate, and so that gives it like extra ease. With all of that said, it didn't even matter because we ended up canceling the back waist smocking detail and we just did a full lining. It was a nice idea. We'll save that for a future design. The first prototype looked pretty good. The main thing that I noticed was the chest area looked like broad and wide, and that bothered me. And I thought also because this jacket has a puff sleeve, there's all of this extra ease in that puff. So there's no reason for all the sleeves to start out here, because there's all this space and room, so I can bring that in, bring in the across chest, and then the ease is brought into the shoulders, so she can still move. There's no reason to have like a really wide chest area. And another way that I kind of optically adjusted the proportions of the chest, the wideness of the chest, was to increase the lapel and the collar. And I don't know, every time I see a prototype sample, I'm always changing like the pocket placement. Pocket placement is such a big thing for me. Really tiny pocket flaps to begin with, like it has to proportionally match the rest of the jacket. So that was the first thing. And then also with these pocket flaps being like so high, well, first of all, like where's the natural, where is it going to feel most comfortable to put the hands into the pocket? It's going to be probably a little bit lower. And I also just don't visually like the look of having like high pocket flaps. It just makes me feel like it makes the design look more like uptight and kind of nerdy. I don't know why. That's probably just a me thing. I don't know, but I always end up usually dropping pocket placements. And the other thing was like the ruffle at the sleeve was kind of giving me the heebie-jeebies. Like it just kind of looks like prissy and like bing. So I produced those, and with all those changes, I'm like happy with where this design is landing. This jacket was actually like, I didn't know how how it was gonna go. Because sometimes you design things and you think it's cute, but you don't necessarily know how it's gonna be received. Especially since this jacket, like it's tricky. I mean, it's plaid. It has like all these like puff sleeves and smocking, like these weird shorts that match. I don't know, you never know. But this was one of the most popular pieces in the entire collection. A lot of my friends got this piece, and like they were like sending me pictures of them wearing it, and like that makes me really happy. That always feels good when you're able to design something that's like that people actually like. You feel like you didn't waste your time. The next piece is this plaid suit set, and I think because Shein, this project was for Shein, and Shein's like a fast fashion brand, I wanted to incorporate trends in a way that was like tasteful. And I noticed at the time on the runway there was a lot of these like oversized argyle plaid patterns, so I thought this would be a good moment to inject that into the collection. And I also, because the plaid was so like big, I didn't want it to be like too in your face. That's why I did like more muted colors, more tonal colors. The other key component for this design was that I wanted it to be in a knit fabric that was stretchy and comfortable, but also provided the structure and the sharpness that you would expect from a suit. So I ended up moving forward with a ponte fabric. In retrospect, like I think this fabric was fine for what it is, but I would have liked something that like was a little less sleek, maybe had like a little bit more of a tooth or a texture to it, or like a warm hand feel instead of like a cool sleek hand feel. But you do the best you can, right? And another detail here is that I added contrast piecing at the pocket, the sleeve hem, and the shorts hem, and I thought that this would like ground or like frame out the print nicely. And looking at the prototype, I requested that they like open up the waist, just like take out the shaping. Of course I dropped and enlarged the pockets, and then just like fixed the sleeve slit so that it was opening from the back and not the side, because I didn't want I wanted to have like a nice straight silhouette, and as you can see it's kind of like flaring out at the sides of the sleeves. I really liked how this came out. I think it's such a cute set to wear together or styled separately. Like the shorts are super comfy, and like, I don't know, it just, they hit this nice in between of being like casual and kind of dressy. Like you can take it either way. It's kind of preppy, it's kind of, you could also make it kind of like street. I don't know, I just feel like it's a very versatile piece. So yeah, I was happy with this. Oh gosh, okay, this next design, the Satin Suit Set. This was very ambitious of me. The collar detail, let me just first start off by saying that this didn't end up, the detail didn't end up working out, but I still want to explain what it was, because that's like part of the process. Sometimes you do things and it doesn't work out and then you move on. So with this collar, I wanted it to be like a double lapel, and I wanted the top layer to be almost like a scarf that you can like wrap around your neck, and it'd be like very chic. But ultimately, this wasn't, I think I would have needed a sample to show the factory, the construction. It just turned out to be a little too complicated. I wasn't loving how it was executing, so I was like, you know what, we'll save this detail for some other time. And this design is like busy enough. It's like pink satin, so we don't need to get crazy with the details. We'll just like have a nice fit, and that will be that. Here's the prototype sample, and of course I just made it boxier and more oversized, less fitted. And notice how the size, shape, and positioning of the pockets makes a huge difference in like the proportions of the jacket. That's always really big for me. Like that's always very important for me to nail when designing outerwear. Pocket size, placement, and shape. And my eye went straight to those gold buttons. I think with a design like this, because the fabric is so, it has shine, because it's satin, I didn't want anything else that was going to distract from the garment or add more shine. I like photoshopped some nice fabric covered buttons, and I wanted it just to have like a clean, more sophisticated look. Oh yeah, I didn't ever even mention the skirt. Skirt looks great. Just wanted to add some buttons on there and she's good to go. I think the sample came out really nice, and the jacket has a great fit. I think the skirt is like such a cute idea. My only thing is I wish the fabric was like a little less shiny, but it's still like really pretty. The color is really great, and yeah, I really like it. Man, I don't know where I'm going in this pink satin set, but I'll be looking good. Cringe. For this design, I love the idea of doing like an oversized bomber jacket. It's kind of like more of a masculine silhouette, then adding the feminine like satin fabric, the smocking at the neck, and the sleeve hem and the body hem, and like, you know, textural details like chest pockets and a pocket at the arm. I felt like this was just a nice blend of different ideas, and it's always nice to have a jacket that can elevate a look. Like maybe you're not super, maybe you're more casual, but then you're going somewhere like a little bit more upscale and you just throw on like a little satin bomber jacket. Just so cute. You'll notice in my tech pack I specified the pocket dimensions. Like this is something I've learned. Always give pocket dimensions. You will save yourself time in the long run. And prototype looks great. The only main things here is that the chest pockets are like too far from the center front zipper, so I just brought those in. And also the the pocket at the sleeve is like too far back and it's not really laying flat, so I just brought that forward a bit. The neck, I just want like a kind of like a tighter little cute collar, so I brought the neck width in. And I'm also looking at the raglan seams, and it seems like they're hitting like pretty far out on the shoulder, so I brought those in a bit. Otherwise, jacket prototype looks pretty good. The only other thing is the color. I asked for like a sage, like a dusty sage color, and so I'm excited to see the next sample. This beautiful sage bomber jacket. Only thing is I wish it was just like a little bit more matte. I'm not a huge fan of like super shiny anything. But I do appreciate like a little shine. I think this is a cool outfit, what can I say? Conclusions. So if it's been a while since I designed these things, and like a lot of it is probably sold out, but I'll put a link to these pieces below. Another cool thing that you can see through following the link is you can see like all the customers who bought this and how they styled it. That's my favorite part of being a designer. It's just like cool to see your design styled in different ways and to like see the connection with real people and all of that. And if you like this video and you enjoy this fashion process, design, content, subscribe to my channel. You'll get an update when I post the next video. This is part 2 of a 4-part series. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Amiko Samedi, and